Hello everyone, welcome to Caroline's Craftery. Today we are into April already. So this is the Folio Fun monthly freebie. And thank you to Connie and to Mel for their suggestions on using the bluebonnet flower. So if you're following along, you know we're making this little journal type thing made up of a bunch of different folios. So that is a fun project, different themes, different colors each month, etc. There's links below on where you can get this freebie. So this month, bluebonnets, we've got our folio shape, and again we've got our usual labels. I originally thought they were all French, but they're not all French. They're actually a few different languages. So just a tab stamp. This is what the back looks like this month. And then we've got some cards, some things to decorate. We've got a couple little flaps, and I'll show you what I had in mind when I made this folio. And I've backed this one because I wanted the cards and these to have a backing on them. Here we've got an envelope, another card, and just some odds and ends, filling in the spots wherever I can, just for little embellishment, cut out things, whether you use them in this project or another project. And I backed that as well because I wanted the backing on the journal card. And then we have 3 pockets with a couple of birds thrown in there to fill in those spots that may go with some of the freebie. So I'm going to cut this out. I'm going to ink. Now some of them I've done with a distress around them. This one is not distressed around the edges, but I will be distressing mine. There's very, very thin whitish lines going through here where you fold that. Same with on these. You can probably see it a little bit better on the blue. So I'll be folding all those, and then of course the envelope as well. And 2 of the pockets have folds around the edge. Just a very thin white line. Not even sure if you can see that on camera, but that's where the folds will be. So I'm going to cut, ink, or cut, fold, and ink, and then I'll be back and we'll put all this together and add it to our folio journal. So I'll be right back. Okay, so I've got everything cut out and sort of organized. So we've got our base here. Got pockets over here. I've got some other goodies around. I've got a few things that I might use. I've got some string. I've got these, a little piece of paper. So I have inked everything that I know of. I've got my trusty art glitter glue. I do like this glue. I know some people talk about it being expensive, and it is more costly than your average glue. However, I find that I don't need as much of it. So that always works out good. Let's start with this little pocket. Now, do I want to leave all those side things on? I don't think I do, actually. I'm going to cut them off. Sometimes I leave them on, sometimes I don't. The advantage of leaving them on is you get to use your whole pocket. But it does add more bulk. And it does kind of make your pocket bigger. So now because I'm doing this, cutting these off, might not do it for them all, but this one I'm going to. tags and stuff that I made that are with the kit may not fit. You might have to trim them down a little bit because I don't have as much pocket space now. So we will see. We'll get to that when the time comes. This is designed to go here. Does not mean you have to put it there. That just means in my head that is where I wanted to put it. When I do the digital, I always try to have an idea in my head on what I'm going to do. I'm trying to keep my glue as close to the edge as I can, because of course that's what takes up more of your space. And when we put it down, I don't want to cover up that little distressed edge, and I want to try to get it in the center as best I can. So there is step one. Just like that. So then of course one of these, or maybe I actually didn't make one for this here pocket, so you could make whatever, but that's gonna go in there. Now with this, we've got these here which are going to be flaps. So I dug out some little reinforcer things. Just gonna ink around these. I want to strengthen up these holes. I was going to put a grommet in there, and then I realized that I had already cut the hole and it's too big for my grommets. I just used the normal cheap hole punch thing, and yeah, makes it too big for the grommet. So I've got a yellow one for on this side, so let's just go ahead and glue that on because I am going to put a string in there. So just do a little bit of glue. Plop that onto there. Like that. I could do one side, but because just the size of the white hole that was there, the grommet I was going to use would have covered that up because I had these cute flower grommets, but that's okay. This will work as well. Don't even really need to do it, but I like to make sure that that's a little bit stronger. Let's do this side. I have a die cut that cuts these, so sometimes when I've got extra bits and pieces of cardstock, which is like always, then I just cut some bunch of different colors and throw them in a little bag. And then when I need one, I just go ahead and pull it out and use it. But I hope you're enjoying these folios. They make a great little present if you're just doing that. So now these are going to go on the bottom and the top. Now I want them at the very, very edge. And it doesn't really matter which goes on the top, which goes on the bottom. So let's go ahead and glue this up. And I hope that, all this fits together good. Whoops. Let's go ahead. I want to put this on the very, very, very edge. And try not to put it over where the fold is going to be. So that's going to be like that. I didn't ink that part because I didn't want it to stand out, but it's going to be covered anyway, so it really doesn't matter. Turn this around and let's glue this side on. Now you could even do it like this away and make like a pocket. You'd have to figure out how you're going to tie it. if you did that way, but lots of different ways that you could put these together. I just show you what I had in my mind. Okay, very edge. Glue them down good. Make sure there's nothing on the edge. Okay, there we go. There's that. Now this big pocket is going to go on here. Now, I hope that it fits here. And I want it to it should be good. I think this one I'm going to leave these on. I always make sure that the bottom one goes on top of these. Makes it a little easier when you're sliding your stuff in your pocket. So I'm going to start by putting just a tiny little bit of glue there and there. And I'm going to glue this down to here. And then that way it's just that much easier when I actually go to glue that down, except the glue's not sticking on that side. I just find it easier to glue those two sides down. And then they're kind of down for when I glue this down. Try to get along the edges. You could always use double-sided tape or something for this too if you really wanted. I hardly ever use double-sided tape. And this is going to go that way. It could go either way, I guess. And again, close to that line. And put it down like that. Now, yeah, this pocket's a little bare, but... And then these are eventually closed like that. So this is going to have lots of room in this pocket. Now this one is actually going to go here. And it will also be a pocket, so we'll try and line it up the best we can. And this I didn't put any sides on it because it was going on the top. Didn't want it to be too thick. Because of course the thicker you make all this, then the harder it is to close it. Try to get it right on the edge. And there's just a tiny little bit of room on the top and the bottom. So there, so now we actually got two pockets. We got that one and then we got that one. Now, whoops, the envelope. Now you would have noticed that that's bare, which you could decorate it if you were going to use it, but we're actually going to glue that down. So let's go ahead and let's actually make it into an envelope. So I'm going to go there and there, and just the bottom part of these flaps. So now when I close this, each side will actually be kind of glued. So we got that, and we got that. And I see kind of some white there, so let's just go ahead. I don't know if I said, but I do all this stuff on a 65-pound cardstock, which I get from Michael's, or not Michael's, Staples. So this is actually going to go here. And there is a bit of an edge. So you could make this into a pocket or just do it solid. I'm just going to glue it down because it's already going to be thick enough for a little folio. If you were going much thicker, you'd want to actually make a bit of a binding So then that way it gives you that more flexibility. Let's as even as possible. So there is that. Now I'm going to put Velcro on this because I kind of want it to stay closed. I buy these at Michael's and they actually work pretty good. They are sticky, but I always glue them because just not sticky enough. A little bit of extra glue, and then that one I'm going to put up there. Put a bit of glue on this. And then I can close it. And that's going to hold that shut. Now with this, I've just got some of this string. And I'm just going to use some of this to tie it. Do I want to just loop it and tie it, or... Yeah, let's do that. So let's cut 2 lengths. I don't know how long this is. 20 inches or so. I'd rather have too much than not enough. And I think I'm just going to loop it through and loop it through, and then I can tie it like that. I can always change this. I can put ribbon on it instead, which I might do, you never know. We'll see how I like it. So then these you can just tie. Okay, now we've got all our extras. Let's just let's decide where we're going to put these. Okay, so this one's going in the envelope. This one's going in the back here, and this one is going into here. Will that fit? Gonna have to trim just a little bit off. Not too much. But it does make a big difference to actually get it in a pocket, giving it that little bit of wiggle room. Okay, so now we kind of know where we're going to put those and how we're going to decorate them. Let's start with this one. Now this one is going into the envelope. We've got tons of our little goodies. And I am just going to make a little collage. And that's why I got this. I just thought it will add a little bit extra on here when I go to put a collage. So let's ink the edge of this. Gives it that little bit of definition. Okay. Let's just kind of plan it out. I'll leave a little bit of blue all the way around. And how about that on there? Okay, I like that. And then how about something like that? And then maybe a bird. Yeah, let's do something like that. Okay, let's glue that down. Collaging like this is such a great way to just decorate a little piece, tie it in together with all the rest. because you can use pretty much anything. And I like doing blank tags like this in digital kits, although I don't do it nearly enough. Okay. Now I want this kind of tucked underneath. So let's go ahead. I'm just going to put some glue under here. That'll hold it in place so I know where I need to keep it. And if it's not glued all the way to the edge, it's still okay. Then we can put this down. All of the freebies for this Folio Fun journal will be on the coffee shop. And you can find all the other freebies there from other years as well. So there is that. And then our little bird. I want to make sure that I get the couple little areas like his beak and his tail glued down, because I don't want that to get caught on anything when you're sliding it in and out or anything like that. So let's put him right there. So there's our cute little tag for our envelope. Now, just trying to see. Now, if I slide this in, I'm gonna see more down here. So let's go ahead and let's use another piece of this. I'm gonna do the same type of thing. I'm gonna just collage. And just decorate it up a little bit. I'll put a big bow in here too. Now, do I want the bow underneath there, or do I want it off? Yeah, I like that. So let's ink up this piece here. I don't know, if somebody sent me these. They're like a little miniature page of an old receipt. So I'm not sure where they came from. I have, I don't know, 8 pages or so of it that somebody sent me, and I just kind of use it for whatever. I'll sometimes fold them up and put them in a pocket or something. But I was looking for something just that I could just tear up a little bit to use on this. So I'll kind of use the same sheet throughout, so then it'll kind of blend in. And again, I'll leave the edges, just that little bit of blue there. Got that, and then this here I'm going to put off to the side. I am going to, I'm just going to, let me just think this. I was thinking I could make that into a pocket. I could do that. Let's make this into a little pocket, and we could put a few of these little odds and ends in there. So, like the stamps or something. Somebody could write their secret password on there. So let's put it right over to the edge. So then when we glue this bird down, we're going to put him down a bit. So I'm only going to glue a bit in this corner here. And then that bird will sit. It's okay if it covers up some of those words. This way I can still use that side. So there we go for that. I do have a couple other bows. There should be one other one. Just gonna see which one looks best. I think I like that bigger one. Okay, let's glue that one down. And put it down over the top of that label. So that's good because now we got an extra pocket in there. And then we've got this big one, which we're really not going to see much of anything on this one. But out of curiosity, I usually use the number. And I think I use the month usually. Just trying to, yeah, the month and this one. So let's try and put this, incorporate that into here. We'll use another piece of this, being that we've already used it on the other two pieces. So let's see what we can do here with the few pieces. We need to put a butterfly on this one. Gotta use a butterfly. And then what about a birdhouse? If we kind of did something like that. We could put the bird. Even though that bird's kind of big. But we could put him there. Okay, that'll work. Let's do that. Sometimes I overthink things and then I start guessing what I should do. And I don't like that. Just glue it down there and then, whoops, once it's down there, then it's down there and can't be changing my mind. And I do think that, and I know I'm not the only one, we tend to overthink how to arrange something and just put her down, although it's easier said than done to just slap it down there. Okay, let's put this, and again, like the other ones, I'll leave that little blue edge. Let's put this down. Kind of used the same labels and stuff each time. And then I just kind of changed the colors of them. Let's put this butterfly down. We'll put it down over here somewhere. You could easily use all these pieces just in a journal. You know, put them down on a page. Don't even make a folio. Just use the bits and pieces. Now, just wondering if I want it. No, let's put it this way. It's nice having the little bits to add to these journal cards because then that way everybody can do them a little different, or everybody could do them the same. It doesn't really matter. So this one, I want to make sure I glue down these feet and the tail and the beak because they will be a problem for sure. pay special attention to make sure I get glue on them. And he's just gonna go there, even though, yeah, he's too big for the birdhouse, but it's still okay. Now we got all these little pieces, and I'm thinking on just putting something little on the back of each of the tags, just to blend the back in with the front. So I'm just going to glue just one piece. So we need one piece to blend it in. There's that one. Let's do this one. Let's put, let's just put a bow right up at the very top. Okay. As I say, this is just to blend it in with the rest of the journal or the folio. And on this one, let's do the other bow, because I have an idea for that other butterfly. I'm going to put this one at an angle over here. Okay, so there's that. Now let's bring this all down here. Let's just put these aside for now. Thinking I'm going to put this over here, and I'm going to end up sliding it underneath that pocket. Just like that. And we'll make sure that we didn't get a drop of glue there. Okay, now we also need a Velcro dot for here. So let's go ahead and do that, because that's what's going to hold this whole thing together. Now we don't have a tag for there, but we'll do something at some point. Put that right there. It kind of covers up the butterfly, but that's okay. Let's make sure we have this away, because in that way when we fold it down, we'll get this other piece in the right spot. Again, upside down. We'll put a little bit of glue there. Don't need much because I don't want it to squish out. And then fold that down and give it a little push. And again, we want to be really careful because the glue's not stuck yet, so we don't want to. So now we've got, this is going into here. Now we could have easily decorated the inside of that. This one is going into here. And because there's lots of room in there, you can easily get that out. You could put a little tab, as long as it doesn't come out past there, because you got to fold it. Now here, let's just go ahead. Let's just put those 2 postage stamps in here. And let's go ahead and put that label in there. And these we're just going to put in our leftovers. So when you put this in here, you got to watch for those things that they're not grabbing. So there's that. You could also put something here too, like these could go in here easily for something. So let's go ahead and let's tie this shut. And then we get to add our fabric tabs to hold it all down. Let's tie that. These strings might be a little long, but I'm going to leave them for now. I can always trim that at any point. So there is that. Let's go ahead. Let's get 2 or 3 of these. What number am I on? So I'm on here. So we got 3 there, so we need 2 of these. Now this is quite a bit smaller. So that's going to glue down there. So we need, just going to kind of leave that sit there. So then I know where I'm going to put these. Let's trim that edge off because those are pretty long. I don't think I want them quite that long. Cut a few of those off too. Okay, there is those. Now these have to go on here because those are going to be for our next month. So far so good in remembering how I had to put all these on. I'm trying to get that one thread out of it. There we go. Okay, so those are going to go on there. So I'm going to line that up nice and neat. And let's go ahead and put down a little bit of glue, like that. And let's glue that down. So I gotta make sure I don't want my folios that I make each month any smaller than this, because that's about minimum for the spacing of those. Because those you kind of want the same spacing all over, or throughout the whole journal. So let's just put some glue down there. And I'll glue that down there. And as you can see, the art glitter glue does not come through there. I think I need a little bit more right along the edge here. There we go. The art glitter glue will show through if you put on too much glue. Now this is going to go up here. And last time I didn't get them quite even. So this time I want to pay a little more attention on how I glue these to make sure that I've done them fairly even. So let's add a bit of glue. So I would like to know how you find the tab binding. Do you like it? Do you not like it? Do you not understand it? How do you like it? So now let's, okay. Not sure how else to do this because I've got to have it this way to glue these down. I guess I just need to pay close attention to how I'm holding it down, I guess. And let's put some glue here. And I go up about an inch. Oh, my glue is acting funny. And then I just kind of brush it that way to stop it from pulling out. Let's Repoke my hole. Okay, and then we got this middle one to do. Still not used to this new camera setup and where I need to hold everything so I'm not out of frame. Okay, there's that. I think I just need to add a bit of glue on the ends of these, just to make sure I've got the end glued down. Because I do want it glued down to the edge. That one's glued down good. So then these are for May's. So we've got January, February, March, and now we have April's. And we're just going to open it up. And there we have our envelope with the tag. I'll probably just use a little collage tag or something in there. Who knows? I don't know. I haven't decided what I'm going to put in that bucket yet. And then, of course, our tie-down bit. I like that the way this is, it lays fairly flat. But you would take most of the stuff that you'd write on, you take out. But you could write on the backs of these. You could write on the inside of the envelope, etc. But I like this one. Very colorful, very pretty. So if you have any suggestions on a theme for one of these folios, please let me know. I've started a little bit of a list now. So feel free to suggest something, theme, flower, color, anything like that. Still haven't decided on a closure, and I probably won't decide until the very end, but it'll probably be just like a ribbon or something like that. But there we have our April. Very pretty blue bonnets. Check out all the links below. Check out the other previous months. Check out the previous years of freebies. I think this is the 4th or 5th year that I've been doing a monthly freebie. So there's lots of them out there. Not all of them are on the coffee, but I'll work on getting all the older ones up on there too. It can be very time consuming. So I do my best. And it's fun doing these. Enjoy. I would love, love, love to see what you've made with them. Feel free to send me a link to your video if you do videos. And post pictures on the Facebook group, or post a link to your video on the Facebook group is even better. The link for the Facebook group is down below. Love to hear from you, and we'll see you again soon. Bye for now.